Hello, my beautiful sister. My name is Reverend Jocelyn, and I am glad that you found this channel. And if this is your first time tuning in and checking us out, I need you to subscribe because you're going to love some of the information that you find here. I am someone who's committed to helping women such as yourself who are called to ministry to not only start, but grow and sustain a transformative ministry beyond the walls of the church. I started my ministry off as a blog, grew it from that to podcast to eventually a national ministry that helps people across the country heal from trauma. This was not easy, and I want to be able to share some of the things I've learned over the years to help you to advance. Now, for today's episode, as I am preparing to share some of my secrets, one thing I want you to do is make sure that you download the Ministry Launch Starter Kit in the notes below, because as I work through some of the material, I'm covering at a higher level. But if you want this information in print form, then download the kit. It's completely free. I put checklists, tools, reflection questions, summaries, a whole bunch of information in this kit to help you to be able to advance in ministry. Take advantage of that. It will be a blessing to you. And again, it is free. Now, with that said, let's talk about one of the biggest struggles that sisters in ministry face, and that is organizing your time. You might be even saying to yourself, what time are you talking about? I have no time. I barely have time to sleep. I sleep with my eyes open. I have so much going on. I get that, sister. It be like that sometimes. Whether you are a mother, whether you are a pastor, whether you are working full time still, whether you are having issues with your family as a caretaker. Yes, we do it all. And sometimes we feel like we are losing our mind in the process. And I get it. And when it comes to this work that you feel God is calling you to in ministry, you might have been wrestling with the idea of writing a book, starting a podcast, opening up your nonprofit for years now. But because you feel so overwhelmed with other life circumstances, you just like, I can't. I can't even. I want to, but I can't. I need you to breathe. Let's just breathe with me right now, because I feel the anxiety coming up. And it's because you're thinking about all the things on your to-do list. And so we're going to break this down, sister, because there's some things that I want you to consider adjusting your approach for to help you to be able to make time when you feel like you have no time as it relates to your ministry. The first thing I want you to consider is, are there things on your plate that you can remove? Now, for some of you, you just said out of your mouth, no, I can't. I want you to think here for a second, because for some of the things that we're committed to doing, we've been doing it for so long that we feel like we have to do it, and we might not. Okay, we think about the committees that we volunteer for, the boards that we're a part of, some of the things that we volunteer to do, some of the things we might have been voluntold to do by our pastor. You know what I'm talking about. Those things we might need to say, okay, I need to step back from this for a season. I need to take a sabbatical for this for a season. Maybe it was what God was calling me to do then, but I can't do now, because there's little things that we say yes to that suck our time. And because people know you're that amazing, they always come to you asking, because they know, like, oh, she'll do it because she's just great and she can balance 10,000 things and she'll sacrifice her time. Listen, we need a different story, because in order for us to be able to do what God is calling us to do, we need to remove some things on our that are on our plate, off our plate, so we can make room for the new. So that's number one. Number two, I also want you to evaluate, are there some things that are time wasters in your life? We only have 24 hours in a day. I wish I could pay for more time, because I would, but we can't. So how are you investing your time? Hear me when I say invest. I didn't say spend, because you can spend time by wasting time by scrolling through social media, Netflix, binge watching a series. You know how it can get sometimes. We can do those things, and then before we know, an hour and a half, all this time has gone by, and that could be time, sis, that you are working on your ministry. So think about the things that you do. One of the things I encourage women to take a moment and do is audit their time for the week. So you look and say, okay, how did I spend my time this week? Okay. How much time did I spend wasting it on things versus investing in it? Like investing, and investing could be reading on some things to learn about how to grow your ministry. Investing could be taking a course. Investing could be having a business meeting or attending a workshop or seminar. That's investing. But in contrast, we could be wasting the time. And so looking at, okay, am I wasting time, spending time, or am I investing the time? Okay, what are some things that I'm doing right now that maybe is out of season that I can maneuver? Okay, so these are some things to kind of help you reclaim your time. That's what I'm talking about. There's certain things that are commitments that we can't necessarily get rid of. So now let's talk about that. Once you identify the things that, okay, I can get rid of that. I still have to take care as a caretaker. I can't quit being a mom, for example. I have to do that. Maybe I can delegate certain things where I have someone pick up the kids after school. Maybe I have a carpooling routine. Maybe this is something where instead of going grocery shopping, I can delegate someone else to go grocery shopping for me by doing the Uber Eats or, the grocery store apps. I can't even think of one right now, but you know what I'm talking about. Delegation, sis. Proverbs 31 woman, that's what she did. She had servants, she delegated. And sometimes using an app or using functions to streamline your time could be one of the wisest things that you can do to reclaim your time back so that you can invest it in things that matter. Then, now we need to get into a strategy. Now it's time to figure out, okay, if I know that I am a morning person or I am a night owl, depending on your flow, your flavor, you want to think about, okay, can I get up 1 hour early while the kids are still asleep, while my husband's still in bed? What can I do within this hour to optimize my time to be able to write a chapter in this book, to work on this course, to get my vision and my content together for what I'm doing? Thinking about an hour block or a 90-minute block to work on your ministry each day as a routine could be a great strategy for you. This is particularly good for those individuals who like routines, who you're disciplined, who you like, yes, every day I have my coffee, every morning I do this, every morning I do this, things have to be just like this. If talking to you right now, then you want to set yourself a schedule where within a certain time, this is your time to work on your ministry. Now, some of you, when I shared that strategy, you're just like, girl, please, that is not my life. I don't even know if I'm coming or going each day, so that's not going to work. Okay, I got something for you too, because sometimes the routine thing is not feasible because of the life demands. You then have to come up with a strategy to have, instead of a daily routine, you have a block of time that you put aside each week per se. Let's say you say, okay, Friday morning, I don't care what's going on, I'm going to the coffee shop from this time to this time. That'll give me 3 to 4 hours to work on this particular project for my ministry. And you block out that time. You put a sign on the door if you're working at home. You're telling people, do not bother me, I am busy at this time. And you focus on the thing that you have committed to for that block of time. You would be surprised how much you can get done within a 3 to 4 hour block if you focus. That means, yes, your notifications are off. It's on do not disturb. You're not checking social media. You're not doing anything outside of what you set your mind to, which could be, again, writing, developing a program, recording your podcast. But when you batch create, it is a wonderful strategy to help you to get things done and get into a place of flow state where you're able to produce things in high quality for a week or for a month. For example, for some of us, we struggle with social media content or producing. But if you produce several videos in one day and make that block of time, the time in which we record 4 or 5 videos, then you have your post for the week versus trying to come up with posts every day. That can be your strategy. I did this for my podcast and it was a game changer for me because instead of me trying to record live once a week at a certain time, which was stressing your girl out, instead, I recorded 4 episodes in a day, pre-recorded it, sent it over to someone, delegation, to edit, and then I was able to consistently keep my show going. It's called batch work, and it is a game changer, sis. With those strategies right there, you can easily begin to work on developing your ministry. And you don't have to have a ton of time to do this. But what you do need to do is figure out some points in time to get this thing done. And you might have to have some harsh conversations with people in your life to set some boundaries so that they know, hey, I sacrifice all this time for you for this. I do this for you. I do this for everybody else. But this is important to me. And in fact, this is something that God is calling me to do in this season. And I'm not okay with putting this off until next year, until tomorrow, what God is calling me to do in this season today. And I need your support. And your support so that they know, hey, I sacrifice all this time for you for this. I do this for you. I do this for everybody else. But this is important to me. And in fact, this is something that God is calling me to do in this season. And I'm not okay with putting this off until next year, until tomorrow, what God is calling me to do in this season today. And I need your support. And your support looks like helping more around the house, doing some of these chores, helping to pick up the kids, helping to pull your weight, or just giving me space and allowing me to be able to concentrate for an hour a day at this time. Get people on your team. Let them know how important it is to you to be able to have that time to focus and build your ministry. And eventually it will pay off, sis. So let's audit our time. Let's get rid of the time wasting things because we ain't got time to waste. We are women in ministry who are called to do God's work. And we're going to invest our time, whether it's daily, whether we're batching our time to do the work that God has called us to do. If you enjoyed this video, make sure that you like it, make sure that you subscribe, and definitely take advantage of the Ministry Launch Starter Kit that's going to help you to start and grow a transformative ministry. My name is Reverend Jocelyn. Be sure to follow me, and thank you so much for tuning into this video, and I will see you very soon, my beautiful sister.